Tuesday, 37-year-old NYPD Sergeant Eric Duran entered his plea and then minutes later learned from a judge that bail would indeed be set in his case.
I will set bail at $150,000 bond.
Duran, seen on surveillance video throwing a cooler at 30-year-old Eric Dupree, a suspect in a drug bust last August in the Bronx. That's Dupree on a scooter riding down the sidewalk, attempting to flee the scene. Dupree was knocked off that scooter and later died from his injuries. The case brought by New York State Attorney General Letitia James. A grand jury recommended criminal charges of second-degree manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and first- and second-degree assault.
The defendant knew or should have known that throwing the cooler at Mr. Dupree would either harm him or distract him and ultimately cause a collision.
Eric Dupree is dead because of Eric Dupree's actions. He drove directly at Sergeant Eric Duran, as well as two detectives who didn't know he was coming. This was a momentary decision.
Dupree's relatives did not speak after the hearing, but Hawk Newsom, head of the Black Lives Matter Greater New York chapter, had this to say.
Usually when they kill us, they do not receive bail. So today we can rejoice for this small step towards justice.
The president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association, Duran's union, released a statement which reads in part, quote, "The message that was sent today is pretty clear. The top law enforcement office in New York State would rather prosecute members of law enforcement than career criminals. Make no mistake, the SBA will aggressively defend Sergeant Duran throughout this egregious judicial ordeal." Criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Schwartz.
It's going to be a lot more than just the video. And it's one of those close calls, in my opinion.
If convicted on just the top charge alone, Sergeant Duran faces a maximum of up to 25 years in prison. He's due back in court on April 18th.